Content warning. Cursing. The dream.
I'm Lucas, and I'm in Halifax, in my partner's house, cuddling her. And I'm going to tell a dream I had when I was very young, because I don't really remember my dreams anymore. This is what I remember of that dream. I was a Pokemon, and I was going to do something really important. I was really excited and maybe proud to do that or whatever. And then there's a lion all of a sudden, and it was like a Pokemon. No, it was a tiger. Pokemon tiger. And it started chasing me. And there were some other Pokemon creatures. I don't really know what they were. And they were also chasing me. And I was kind of like in this deserty landscape, like, kind of like the Badlands, kind of, and a lot of dust running. And then I was like running up to a cliff ledge, like you kind of would in a movie. And I fell off the cliff because they were like chasing me. I was going so fast. And then I was falling, and I got really even more scared. And then I woke up, and I was sweating. I was really terrified. And that was my fun dream that I remembered from when I was a kid.
What does it mean? What does it mean? What does it mean?
What do you think about Lucas's dream?
Okay, first thoughts are about how non-specific most of the key details are. And it might be partly because he said it was from when he was a child. We don't even know when it was when he was a child.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, he just said when he was very young. But like, he's a Pokemon. There are hundreds of Pokemon.
Yeah,
Maybe thousands. I don't know.
Is he like the Pokemon of himself? Like,
none of the Pokemons are humanoid, though.
But
are
they're
they?
like about certain kinds of, like he says there was like a lion, Pokemon,
Yeah.
tiger Pokemon.
Yes.
So you think that they're like modeled after existing stuff, somewhat?
Yes. There are definitely
like
like
the
some that
Lucas
look kind of
Pokemon?
like turtles, some that look, but there are humans within the Pokemon universe who
but
are
he
just
wasn't
humans.
a human.
He's not a human. Sounds like he's a Pokemon. It's like in the Pokemon universe. What do I remember from when I was 8 years old? Is that there are humans. They're wandering around collecting Pokemon, like capturing them in the wild, and then training them to fight each other in arenas. This is what I remember of what
Okay.
Pokemon is about.
So I basically didn't know any of that.
Right. Okay.
So it makes sense then that he
Did
had
kids like want to trade Pokemon cards with you when you were a kid?
no.
Wow.
Yeah, it exists. I was aware of it existing.
Okay. And
But I feel like it was really important to have like watched the show to understand at all what the hell it was about.
right.
I don't really have TV, so
Yeah. Yeah. I remember, there were kind of two parallel tracks for me when I was a kid. It was like there were the cards and the game that everyone played with the cards, which I never understood because I just didn't. But I liked to have the cards of the really cute ones. And so I just collected the cards but then never played. But my brothers had like binders full of these cards. And then there was a specific way that you would like play the cards against each other. And you had like power cards or something that you would... Anyway, there were like moves you could make. And then people would win cards from each other through that.
I
Anyway.
think I interacted with like 3 people through most of elementary school and therefore didn't get exposed
Just
to
stayed
that.
out of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
more or less.
Part of me knowing about it was probably just that I had brothers because I think, as I said,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
involvement in this competitive sport was minimal.
Just peripheral.
Yeah. Okay.
But like, okay, if they're fighting, if the point of them is to train them to fight,
Yeah.
he felt like he had an important task.
Yeah.
Therefore, and he was actually a Pokemon, not one of the human trainers.
Yes.
So he had been trained.
Yeah. Or he's a wild Pokemon because it seemed like those exist in the Pokemon universe too.
But he's
got a mission.
He'd been given an important
from some-
task.
He doesn't. It's interesting that he doesn't say what the task was. Maybe he didn't even know in the
I
dream.
don't think he even knew.
You just have a feeling that
Yeah.
you're doing something important.
yeah.
It's non-specific, but you feel really good about it. Like, it was really sweet how he described the pride that he felt while
Yeah.
he's,
Yeah, that's a
setting
good
out on his
feeling.
task. That's a nice thing.
But then that just like vanishes as soon as
It
he's
does.
like, I don't need to worry about my task anymore at all because I'm being chased by a lion.
Tiger.
Tiger.
Thought it was a lion, but then he remembered it was a tiger. Pokemon tiger. Yeah. I mean, and that's sort of indicative of what it feels like when no matter what it is that your larger goals are, suddenly something immediate starts threatening you. You really lose sight really quickly of the bigger picture.
I feel like this is not about literally anything at all. I think this is just like I just feel like this is a super basic dream. Like everybody has a dream where they're like doing something and then they get chased.
And then they fall off a cliff. I mean, okay.
Everybody has dreams of falling off cliffs. I just feel like it's just I just don't see how it could really be about anything.
Dude, okay, let's back up a little here because your nihilism is interrupting all of my processes.
Okay, well then.
Wait. Let me just pause on something you said though. Everyone has this dream, therefore it means nothing. Can you say more about your feelings about shared experience?
Well, okay, no, it's more just like, I think it maybe is just a super basic human thing. Like, if everybody has this dream that, like, we all have, there's things that are threatening us in our environments all the time. Like, maybe I'm just, well.
What?
Maybe I just think it's like, I don't know. No, I don't know. It's just like if everybody has the same, it's not anything. I don't think it probably was anything specific. It was just like,
so then what
he's
is
just
it
like
though?
running through a gamut of like emotions that you can have.
You're just describing being a human. It's like we're all running through a gamut of emotions that we can't have, and a lot of them are ones that other people have regularly
I feel like the dream
too.
is just like trying on some different emotions. It's like trying on pride, and it's trying on fear, and then it's trying it's just like, and also it's like
the plot of
only
any
pride
major
and
motion
fear.
picture right now that's not described.
Yeah, but like you said, there's no details. There's absolutely no details.
Yeah, there are.
It's Pokemon because, like, that is what, as an 8-year-old boy, you're just thinking about Pokemon. It's, like, literally all there is to think about because you have nothing important to do with your brain when you're 8. So then it's just, like, it's Pokemon and, like, a randomly
apologize
selected...
to all the 8-year-olds who were just insulted by that comment.
And a randomly selected variety of human emotions. Just applied to, like, the background, the drop, like, the... What do you call it? The backdrop of, like, a combination of movies and TV shows that you might also have watched at the time, like Roadrunner being the desert scene, running off a cliff. Just like, he's like watching Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
He's watching Pokemon.
Yep.
He's having 8-year-old emotions, and this is the dream that you end up with.
Okay. Yeah. And, it's like I don't think that you're wrong. And I think that is a way of describing any dream. And also any human experience. I really do feel like you could map that form of nihilistic analysis onto anything and you wouldn't be wrong. You're just like maybe narrowly viewing it a little. Because I think any dream is a mishmash of like, images that you just see in your regular life, a lot of which are borrowed from pop culture and movies and just like boring random stuff that's going on in whatever your boring normal life is. And then mixed in with that are these threads of like, sure, like every intense emotion or every emotional experience, there's something really trivial about it because it's definitely been had by somebody else before. And there's something that's very specific and visceral about it because you're the one having it in that moment. And just because it might be generic in the sense that like, everyone has been afraid in a way that, feels that way or whatever, it still can be traced back to something specific within an individual's experience. It's like we don't know enough about what was going on for Lucas at this point in his life to bring up those feelings, but I would say that there is something that's like, there is a specificity to the idea of you start and you're like, I'm going to do something really important. People are proud of me and I really hope that I succeed and I'm excited that I have this role. And then suddenly that getting derailed by fear, basically, and by the things that are in your immediate environment interrupting your ability to, be the person who you actually want to be. And then they interrupt it to such a degree that you panic so hard that you like fail entirely. Like not only do you get attacked by these things, but you like, you run in such a bad direction that you fall off a cliff. And then you're not even scared of the things that are chasing you anymore. You're scared of the thing that you've dropped yourself into through your bad decision making and panic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that feels relatable. Like,
yeah.
Today when I was trying to pay for something online and I just panicked and then made a bunch of wrong choices. That was me running off the cliff edge. And as I was falling, thinking, why couldn't I just do this the way that
Pokemon Tiger was your credit card limit? Like...
Yeah, and mortality, the limits of my physical reality.
Yeah. I mean, it was very much like, by the time you're talking about falling off the cliff, he's like, I was just running. So he wasn't even talking about the chasers anymore. He's just like, I was just running so fast.
Yeah.
That I just ran off a cliff.
Yeah. And he said that he was even more scared when he was falling than he had been when he was being chased.
Yeah.
Because then your doom is inevitable. It's like when you're being chased, at least there's a chance that you might get away. And there's that like knife edge of anxiety of like, will I or won't I succeed in getting away? But once you've fallen off a cliff edge, there is no going back. You are definitely going to die.
Yeah.
And it's your fault.
And at least partly. To yourself.
Yeah. It's like you go so far from the original scene by that end point. You don't even remember it existed.
Very quickly move away from whatever the task was, and also then very quickly move away from even the being chased.
Yeah.
Never address why you're being chased.
Mm-hmm.
I guess just wild animals.
Yeah. Or whatever, whether they're wild or not, just malicious animals that want to hurt you in some way. Yeah, I mean, really, the trajectory of this dream gets to a very nihilistic place, so maybe it's fitting that you started us at the baseline of everything being meaningless and purposeless and empty.
So it wakes up feeling terrified. Great.
Yeah. I mean, I guess.
The moral of the story is...
Yeah, I wonder what should he have done differently as the Pokemon in the dream? A tiger appears. It's chasing him all of a sudden. Wonder what he should have done to avoid that end. Fought it? That's not always a good idea. Like tigers. I don't want to fight a tiger.
He doesn't land. Well, I know you never land in dreams, but like he doesn't land. Like you don't know what's good. Like turns out there's some like it's water below, or like you don't even know what's gonna happen.
And he's a Pokemon. He might have wings.
Yeah, we don't know.
What if he had little wings and he didn't even realize it? The dream ends before.
So it's about the unknown, his undeveloped capacity for getting him out of. Getting himself out of challenging situations. And, he hasn't had the chance to dream about what you would do as you're falling yet, because he's a child and for some reason stopped.
Yeah, okay, yeah, and that, that's a bunch of people have actually said that to me since I started this.
They don't remember since they're children?
That they're like, I just don't remember my dreams anymore.
Wow.
I'm like, whoa. And then there was one person who told me that for a long time he didn't remember his dreams, then he started again. It's like, I mean, and I go through phases. Sometimes I remember my dreams and sometimes I don't, but there's never been years where I don't.
No. Wow.
Yeah, I know. I wonder what's happening there.
Maybe they just, grew up and got a really good sleep habit.
Maybe. Or bad sleep habits is the other thing. I think maybe sometimes it's like as adults, everyone has compounded insomnia problems and stuff, and then you don't get into the sleep phases you need. I've definitely heard a few people describe that as being what they consider to be the issue.
And then that's why they don't dream?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because you're never in the right, I don't know.
Never get there.
Never find out what happens. Well, I hope, Lucas, that what happens is that you start dreaming again, and then you have a dream where you enter into this exact narrative, and you're a Pokemon, and you have an exciting task that you're proud of, and then a tiger appears and starts chasing you, and a bunch of other scary things start chasing you, and you start to get scared, and you start to run, and then you start to think to yourself, maybe I have other options. And then you figure out that you're a Pokemon with like wings or some kind of power where you can like stun all of them, or, you know.
Or maybe all the other Pokemon were just running at him to say, I know how to help you with your task.
Oh my
and then you were just
God.
running for no reason at all.
Maybe they're friends and he just
Misinterpreted
panicked.
it.
Could be. We'll never know. We hope that you explore the options, you know, while asleep or while awake. Don't fall off cliffs and panic. That's the moral of the story.
I guess so.
Thanks for listening. Thank you.
Thank you for listening.
Help us keep making this by subscribing to and reviewing the podcast wherever you listen to it, and following and liking us on social media.
If you love this, you can support us on Patreon.
We will reward you.